Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to take that stack of reading off your desk, get straight to the point, and turn complex ideas into something, well, fascinating and useful.
And today we've got a really fundamental text. We're digging into the Kitâbu'l İlm, the Book of Knowledge.
Right.
And our mission really is to unpack the core arguments for why knowledge, or ilm, is considered so incredibly valuable in this tradition. We're talking Quran, prophetic sayings, wisdom from the early sages, the foundation.
And it hits you right away, doesn't it? The sheer boldness of some of these claims.
Oh, absolutely.
Knowledge isn't just presented as, a good thing. The learned person is sometimes placed, well, almost on a cosmic level, even above angels in some interpretations.
It's a powerful statement.
That's quite the starting point.
Mm-hmm.
Why this supreme rank for knowledge? That's really what we need to get into today.
Exactly. And maybe before we jump into the specific proofs, it helps to just sketch out the source itself. The Kitâbu'l İlm isn't just one single argument.
It's structured.
Very. It's divided into 7 chapters, abwab, they're called. And it covers everything from the virtue of knowledge, which is our main focus, to, the practical stuff. Manners for teachers, for students.
So it's a whole ecosystem for learning.
A very holistic view, yes. And right in the 2nd chapter, it lays out this really critical distinction. It basically shifts knowledge from just being a personal goal to something essential for the whole community. It talks about 2 kinds of duty.
Ah, okay. This sounds important. The obligatory side of things.
Precisely. First, you have faryu'in. That's the individual duty. Meaning the basic knowledge every single qualified person, man or woman, has to have just to practice their faith correctly day to day.
The essentials. Got it.
But then there's faryu'in kifaya, the communal duty.
Kifaya, that means sufficiency, right? Like enough.
Exactly. This is knowledge that the community as a whole needs. Think specialized fields, medicine, law, engineering.
Okay.
If enough people in the community pursue and master that knowledge, then the obligation is lifted from everyone else. But, and this is the kicker, if everyone neglects it, if no one steps up to learn that essential skill,
then what?
then the sources say the entire community shares in the sin.
Wow. Okay, that puts a whole different spin on specialization.
Yeah.
It's not just a career choice.
It's a communal safeguard.
It implies that having top-tier doctors or scientists or ethicists, it's actually a religious obligation for the community to produce them.
It directly links intellectual pursuits to moral responsibility. And they were sharp about this too. The 3rd chapter even warns against knowledge that looks religious but is actually harmful, ilmini mezmum.
So, discernment from the start, you need to filter.
Critical thinking was built in. Okay, so that's the framework. Now let's get to the bedrock, the Quranic arguments for this high status.
Right, the divine ranking. You mentioned that cosmic scale. What's the key evidence?
Well, one of the most profound points comes from interpreting a specific verse where God testifies to his own oneness.
Okay.
The sources really zoom in on the sequence of witnesses God calls upon in this ultimate statement of truth. It's staggering.
Who testifies?
First, God himself.
Naturally.
Second, the angels.
The celestial court.
And third, right there, named alongside God and the angels, are the ulul, those who possess knowledge.
Wait, God, angels, and the learned. In that order.
In that order.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It suggests they have this unique role in affirming ultimate reality.
Precisely. Being included in that company signifies, as the texts say, an immense honor and status. Their testimony matters on a cosmic level.
It's not just status, though, is it? You mentioned it gets quantified. Degrees of elevation.
Ah, yes. That comes from another verse about God raising the ranks of believers who are given knowledge. And the interpretation by Ibn Abbas is just mind-blowing.
What did he say?
He said that the Ulemâ, the scholars who actually practice and apply their knowledge, are raised 700 degrees above ordinary believers.
700. Okay, that sounds like a lot, but it's still a bit abstract. Did they define what a degree means here?
They did. And this is where it gets truly vast. The interpretation specifies that the distance between each degree is a 500-year journey.
Sorry, a 500-year journey between each of the 700 steps.
Yes. We're not talking small increments. It's an almost unimaginable spiritual distance achieved through learning.
Okay, pause on that. That implies the effort of deep learning isn't just rewarded slightly. It results in a fundamental shift in one's spiritual station. It's transformative.
Absolutely. And this knowledge isn't just about the hereafter. It grants real, tangible power now. The sources often bring up the story of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba's throne.
Ah, the huge jeweled throne from far away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Solomon asked his assembly, who can bring it here instantly, and who steps up?
Someone powerful. A warrior. A genie.
Nope. It was Âbid Barya. And the text explicitly notes he had knowledge of the book.
And he did it.
Instantly, in the blink of an eye, the sources say, brought this massive throne across a vast distance.
So the knowledge itself was the source of that power, that capability.
That's the clear implication. Competence, speed, the ability to affect the physical world, it flows directly from ilm. Knowledge lets you reshape reality.
Okay, so if knowledge gives that kind of immediate power, let's shift to earthly status. How do the prophetic traditions, the hadith, talk about scholars compared to, say, the highest human rank, the prophets?
This is where the hadith really drive the point home. The cornerstone saying is, scholars are the heirs of the prophets.
Heirs of the prophets. That's quite the inheritance.
It's the ultimate honor, really.
Yeah.
Since there's no rank higher than prophethood, being called the inheritor confirms the scholar's supreme place among people. They carry on the essential mission, teaching divine guidance.
And there's a distinction made between the scholar and someone who's just devout, right? The person focused only on worship. They use that beautiful analogy.
Oh, yes. The comparison of the scholar, the allum, versus the worshiper, the Âbid, it's like the difference between the full moon and all the other stars.
That's such a great image. The stars are there, they twinkle,
But they don't light the way. The full moon illuminates everything. It shows the path.
So the scholar's knowledge provides practical guidance, light for the whole community, utility.
Exactly. It guides people out of darkness, spiritual and practical. And another tradition really scales it up.
One.
It compares the scholar's virtue over the worshiper to the prophet's own virtue over the lowest of his companions.
Wow. That puts the scholar leagues ahead in terms of influence and value beyond just personal piety.
And this value, this intellectual work, it's seen as having weight even beyond this life, even compared to the ultimate physical sacrifice. There's that striking image for the Day of Judgment.
The pen and the sword image, or rather the ink and the blood.
Precisely. The ink of scholars, midad al-ana, will be weighed against the blood of martyrs, dam al-shuhada.
Okay, that's powerful. Weighing intellectual effort against dying for your beliefs. But hang on, is the text saying studying is more valuable than martyrdom? That seems counterintuitive to how we usually think about heroism.
It does challenge that hierarchy, doesn't it? And the sources explain why. In the version cited, the scholar's ink actually outweighs the martyr's blood.
Outweighs it.
Legacy. Enduring impact. A martyr's sacrifice is immense, heroic, secures the present. But the knowledge recorded and passed down, the scholar's ink keeps teaching, guiding, benefiting people for generations. Its positive impact multiplies long after the scholar is gone.
It's a continuous ripple effect, the ultimate renewable legacy.
You could put it that way. And finally, just to bring it down to earth, to society and politics, knowledge is presented as vital for stability. The prophet is reported to have said the community's well-being depends on two groups.
One guess. Rulers and scholars.
You got it. The rulers, umara, and the jurists, or learned fuqaha.
The power and the wisdom. The ultimate check and balance.
Exactly. If they are sound, the people thrive. If they become corrupt, the whole society can unravel. So knowledge, ethics, law, they're foundational for a functioning civilization.
Okay, let's pivot to the sages. How did these early wise figures condense these big ideas into, memorable advice? We have to start with Ali b Abi Talib. His comparison between knowledge and wealth is classic.
Absolutely classic. Ali's statement, knowledge is better than wealth. Simple, direct. But then he gives these three brilliant reasons why.
Lay them on us. Number one.
First, knowledge guards you. You have to guard wealth.
Ah, right. Wealth makes you its servant, constantly worrying about protecting it.
Exactly. But knowledge protects you. It guides you, defends you.
Okay, number two.
Second, knowledge is the ruler, the judge. Wealth is the ruled.
So knowledge dictates what's right, what should be done. Wealth just does what it's told, good or bad.
Knowledge provides the principles. Wealth is just the tool.
And the third one, this really highlights something unique about knowledge.
Third, wealth decreases when you spend it or give it away. But knowledge, it increases the more you teach it, the more you share it.
It grows with use. It's the ultimate positive-sum game.
It truly is.
So if the scholar is so crucial, so foundational, losing one must be seen as a huge blow. How did Ali describe that loss?
He put it very starkly. The death of a tribe is easier to bear than the death of a scholar.
Wow, that sounds harsh. Easier than the death of a whole tribe.
It does, but he explains it with an analogy. Think of a fortress wall.
Okay.
When a scholar dies, it's like a breach, a gap opening up in the wall of Islam, in the community's defenses.
A structural weakness.
Yes. And while a tribe, biologically, can replenish its numbers, that specific gap left by a scholar, their unique wisdom, their insight, their ethical compass, that can only really be filled by another learned person, ideally their student, who takes years to cultivate. The loss is potentially existential for the community's integrity.
That makes sense. It's about the loss of irreplaceable function. Now, to get really philosophical, Ibn al-Mubarak had this amazing argument. Proving knowledge is what makes us human. He kind of strips away everything else.
It's a brilliant piece of reasoning. He basically says, look, if being human was about physical strength,
The camel would be human. It's stronger.
right, if it was about size,
The elephant, much bigger.
if it was about bravery.
The lion, clearly braver.
So since animals surpass us in all these physical traits, what's left?
Only knowledge.
Ilm. Knowledge, understanding, the capacity for reason and divine connection. That, he concludes, is the unique quality humanity was created for. It's what separates us from beasts. Without pursuing it, we're not fulfilling our essential purpose.
We just become, as you said earlier, animals with ambition. That's a powerful why. Why bother with the hard work of learning? Because it's literally what defines you as human. Which brings us back to that fundamental question they asked the sages.
Right. What things are truly worth acquiring?
And the answer.
The answer was beautiful. Those things which swim with you when your ship sinks.
Meaning, when the ship of the body sinks at death.
Exactly. All the physical stuff, wealth, power, even your body. It all goes down with the ship. The only thing that travels with you, the only real treasure, is the knowledge you've acquired. It's the best provision for the journey ahead.
So wrapping this up, what we've seen across all these sources, Quran, Hadith, sages, is this incredibly consistent elevation of knowledge.
And not just any knowledge, right? It's knowledge that leads to good action, to piety, to benefiting others. That kind of knowledge is consistently placed above mere ritual, certainly above wealth and power, even above heroic sacrifice in terms of lasting impact.
It's the key to human potential, the community's defense.
And the takeaway has to be about continuous effort. It brings to mind that hadith where the Prophet said, roughly, if a day passes wherein I don't increase in knowledge, then there's no blessing for me in the rising of the sun on that day.
Constant growth. It's not something you achieve and then stop.
Never. The truly learned person is always learning.
It really hammers home that seeking knowledge isn't a side activity or a hobby. It's presented here as a core obligation, our defining trait, and maybe the only investment with truly eternal returns. So maybe the question for all of us is, what can we do, even today, to gain just one small piece, one babe, of useful knowledge? What are you adding to your own wisdom vault?